Is drinking a problem for the police?
Many calls made to Tayside Police are related to alcohol and people drinking too much alcohol. And that could be from the young people hanging about the street corners or in the parks with their antisocial behaviour and generally causing annoyance. It could also be people on their way home from the pubs and clubs causing damage to cars, kicking wing mirrors off the cars, things like that on the way home. And often they're too drunk to even remember what they've done. Sometimes also people, when they drink too much alcohol, become aggressive and want to fight, and that's often when serious assaults, people are badly hurt. So that results in injury and also can result in them having a criminal record.
How do the police deal with people who have had too much to drink?
The police deal differently with people that have had too much to drink, depending on how old they are, how much they've had to drink, and if they've committed any crimes while they're drunk. If it's a young person who's had too much to drink, we will try and take them home and find someone at home to look after them. If it's an adult that's drunk, again we would normally try and get them home if there is someone at home to look after them there. If there's no one at home, then we would have to bring them back to the police office and they would spend the night in the cells, but really that's just for their own safety. If anyone has committed any crimes while they're drunk, well, that's not an excuse. They would be brought to the police office and kept for court the following day.
What should people do if they see a fight?
If anyone does see a fight, for example, happening, they can, of course, go and speak to the police officers who will be in the area. They will usually have yellow jackets on, and that's so that you can see them easily. There will also be police in cars and vans, again in the area of the pubs and clubs. We also make good use of the CCTV. There is an operator there all the time who will be watching in the cameras. They will be looking for trouble or trouble areas, and they can put point the police in the direction of the trouble as soon as anything begins.
How can people keep safe on a night out?
When people are out drinking in pubs and clubs, they can keep themselves safe, firstly by being with someone that they know and that they trust. They can also make sure that they don't drink too much alcohol too soon. It's a good idea to have a clear mind so you can see what's going on round about you. You should also make sure that you never leave your drink left on its own, and make sure that your friend that you're with is looking after your drink if you do have to leave for the toilet, for example. Also, never leave your handbag or mobile phone lying on its own, because someone could come along and take this from you. After a night out, try not to walk home alone. If you have to, then please make sure you stick to a well-lit area, and maybe phone ahead. If you have your mobile phone, you can always phone home so that someone at home is expecting you home within a set time. Also, make use of the taxis. The taxis should have the owner's name on the car. Make sure that there is a name on the car that you get into before you get into the car. And again, when you're in the taxi, you can phone ahead so that someone at home is expecting you.
What should people do if they suffer abuse on a night out?
If a person is verbally or physically abused on a night out, then you must tell someone about it. If you're in a pub or a club, make sure you speak to a member of staff. There's bar staff, usually door staff, and often a manager who might be making sure everything is okay within the premises. Tell them what's happened to you. If you're not satisfied with that, make sure you report the matter to the police. We want to know about these things happening out on the street and in pubs and clubs.
How can people contact the police?
If you do want to talk to the police, pop into your nearest police office, or for emergencies call 999, or for non-urgent matters phone 0300 111 2222.
Is drinking a problem for the fire service?
In Scotland over the last 3 years, there's been 131 fire deaths. Out of those 131, 81 of them have died as a direct result of people consuming too much alcohol.
stay safe at home?
Most people feel hungry after a night out and consuming alcohol. What I would advise is to get something to eat on the way home rather than wait till you get home, because you'll be feeling tired when you do get home, and if you put on the grill pan or the chip pan, you're likely to fall asleep, and that will result in a big fire in your house. Also, smoking has a large part to play in this, and the same effects of smoking can be had with alcohol. Falling asleep with a lit cigarette and the house will go on fire. The best thing people can do is make sure they have a working smoke detector within their house. If they don't have one, they can get one fitted free of charge from the fire service. Also, I'd like to ask people to shut their doors at night before they go to bed, as this can restrict the spread of fire throughout their home.
Is drunk driving a problem?
Unfortunately, too many people think they can have one or two drinks and step into their car and drive home. Unfortunately, again, alcohol has this effect on people that it slows our reactions and judgments and can result in a car crash on many occasions.
What should people do if there is a fire in their home?
The first thing people should do if there's a fire is get out of the house. Alert everyone in the house first, get everyone out, call 999 for the fire service once they're out of the house, and never going back into the house for anything else.